Hello.
Howdy, friends.
Welcome back.
Welcome to Basically Adulting with Erin and
Louisa.
we are here to have a good time tonight and to talk to you guys a little bit about respecting each other's differences.
Yes. A very hot topic.
Because as an adult, you know, you just don't agree with other adults sometimes.
And that is okay.
And it can be hard.
Yes.
It can be difficult to grasp your mind around somebody not thinking the way that you do.
Yeah.
So we're here to talk to you about it and tell you that it's okay.
Yeah.
To not agree with everyone or for people to not agree with you on a couple of things.
Yeah.
And we have our own
grievances.
Yeah, with, you know,
Life.
everyone sometimes. Yeah. I'm actually having one of those days, like Louisa asked me, how's your day? And the typical answer that people normally give is like, I'm fine, I'm okay. It's whatever.
Yeah.
And today was just like
Not one of those days.
Not one of those days. I'm like in a mood, just feeling unmotivated, agitated, like don't talk to me, irritated for legitimately no reason. And yeah, so sorry if you came across my path today because I could have probably been nicer.
Yeah.
I wasn't like mean, but I could have been probably nicer.
Yeah. Like, were you just like short with people?
Yeah. I was just like,
I don't consider that mean.
Thank you.
I'm like, people are allowed to have their off days. You know, like some people, like, you know, some people I work with are like, oh, like, I'm sorry if I was short. I'm like, I don't really care.
And I don't care.
Like, I'm like, you're allowed to have your bad day. Like, I don't, like, my feelings aren't hurt.
Yeah. I just think sometimes, like, in my position, too, like, I'm having to talk to people all day long, and my job is to literally sell loans to people and, like, drum up business.
Yeah.
And so it's whenever I have a bad or off day, it can not necessarily, like, harm my business, but it doesn't move it forward. Right. So it's unfortunate, and it's like at that point, like when it's too late, you're like, well, the day's kind of already gone.
Yeah.
You know? And so I don't know, it's just kind of disappointing, and whatever. Tomorrow will be a better day.
Yeah.
And I'm drinking this new little juice thing that we have.
Yeah.
So this should make me feel happy, right?
Yeah. They're called Hiyo, I think. Hiyo. They're similar to the what are they called? Kinetics?
Euphoric.
What is that?
I don't know.
Kin Euphoria. I don't know what they're called. You guys, if you've been listening to us, you know we've been trying these weird drinks.
Back.
Anyways, the gist of it is supposed to make you feel happy and all that stuff without getting drunk. So.
Which is exactly what we need right now, because Lisa and I got a little too tipsy on Friday.
We got more than tipsy on Friday.
I know. I'm just trying to be, you know, shield the youngin's eyes or the youngin's ears. We did get a little more than tipsy on Friday, and Saturday was not very fun. Sunday, I was still struggling. Like, it wasn't hurting as bad. I was just, like, not motivated, which today could probably be just an aftermath of Friday.
The recovery, yeah.
Because I ordered tequila shots, which I don't ever do.
It threw me off, guys.
I threw up immediately. Like, in my mouth, like, touched my tongue, immediately threw up in a trash can.
I think it barely touched your stomach, and then it just like.
Yeah, I think it maybe got to like right here.
This is gonna sound really gross, but like I knew it was coming. And you just like projectile. Like, I was honestly impressed with how it just landed directly into the trash can.
At least I hit the trash can. I didn't like throw up everywhere.
No.
And nobody even saw.
No, that's why I say, like, I was telling Fernanda, I was like, it was something out of a movie. Because you just grabbed the trash and it just like immediately just like went in there and you were done.
We left.
Yeah, and we left.
And I was fine. It wasn't like I was throwing up everywhere. I just needed,
No.
it was just that one.
You just need to get it out of you and then you're good.
Yeah, so next time I have the greatest idea of
I
ordering
don't even
shots.
know when you did that.
I don't know either.
It went so fast because we were walking out to leave. And next thing I know, you're like, come here, I ordered shots. And I was like,
I don't know if it was me or if it was Travis. I think maybe I had the idea initially. I think maybe I was talking shit to him or something, and he was like, oh, you would do a shot or something like that. And that's my impression of Travis. And I was like, I'll do a shot of tequila or whatever. And he was like, okay. And ordered 3 shots for us, and I thought I could do it. I was really, really
I think
confident.
you thought you could do it because we had been taking tequila shots prior.
Yeah.
But those were different. Those were creamy, like Bailey tequilas.
Yeah, I could have drank those all day.
Same.
But this was nasty. This was straight
tequila. Yeah. And who knows what type of tequila.
It was probably not good.
No.
So
I'm surprised I took it down so well.
Well, you drink tequila all the time.
True.
Well,
yeah.
I know, just thinking about it, I'm like, ooh. But that could probably be why I'm having an off day. It makes sense now.
Yeah.
Because yesterday I was kind of off too, but today I was just irritated that I had to go back to work.
Yeah,
honestly.
same.
I was just like, I'm not motivated. I don't want to do this right now.
Yeah, same. I was supposed to, so like at my work, we're doing this like we're doing this health challenge. Although it'd be nice if we did a wealth challenge.
Yeah, could we? Who wants to give me the most money in the next 30 days? Whoever gives me the most money, I'll take them out to dinner.
Yes.
And give them a hug.
I'll give them a high five. And so I had all my alarms set and I had my workout outfit set. I slept through both my alarms.
Oh, no.
And I was like, dang it. And you know what the worst part is? When I got up this morning, I had a text from them just saying, like, because I haven't been to work out in like
are you
a month
alive?
and a half, almost 2. They're like, hi, we miss you, like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
no.
Oh, my God. I'm like, hi, yes. I've just been, like,
dead.
Life. You know, I just made up a, like, oh, life.
I always just say that I'm traveling.
Well, I did say that. I was like, sorry, like, I've been traveling for work, and, life has just been crazy. I was like, I am planning to come in this week. They're like, let me get you scheduled in. And I just did not respond because I'm like, I can schedule myself in. Thank you.
I appreciate the
thought.
Yeah, it's very nice. But yeah, when people are like, oh, where have you been? Like, and it's someone that doesn't need
rotting
to know.
in my bed.
Yeah, someone that doesn't need to know where I've been. I've been traveling for work. That's it.
They don't know any better.
They don't know what I do for work.
No.
A simple Google might tell them, but they don't need to know. I'm not telling them. Yeah, I'm always traveling for work. I'm so busy.
Yeah, I'm such a busy woman.
So busy. That's the worst, though, when you're, like, planning on doing it and then you end up sleeping in.
Mm-hmm.
I have told myself that I'm on a journey of, like, trying to find a side hustle because when we did our little manifestations, I'm, like, trying to find something that I can make residual income in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working on something, and I'm like, I just need to, like, consistently do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like everything. Consistency is key, and I just need to actually fucking do it. Because I feel like I've tried to do this before, and it's just, you try, it's just like working out. You try a couple times and then you do like 10 abs, like sit-ups, and you're like, I don't even have abs yet. Like, I'm giving this up. This is not for me.
Yeah.
So I've decided that I'm going to wake up early, and that's, I feel like, when I can focus the most, especially before my day gets started, because once I'm here at work, it's very chaotic and stressful. And so I think I'm going to just take like 2 hours in the morning and just focus on that. And then hopefully my manifestation will come true.
Yeah. I mean, manifestation is a lot like prayer, is what I say. If, you know, like my mom, she prays a lot and she believes in God and Virgin Mary and all that stuff. And it's like, because she believes in it, like, let me just tell you this. She, like, obviously I believe too, but I'm more of a spiritual girly.
Right.
So, because my mom makes fun of me for my manifestations, but I'm like, Mom, like, manifesting is like praying. Because if I believe and I'm putting my energy into it, it's going to come true, just like you are into your prayers. So, you know how we've been having these, like, crazy storms? So, my mom, after the first storm hit, I don't think I told you her old car, because she got a new one. She was in the Kroger in Bartonville, and they got crazy, like, hail, like tennis ball size hail. Like, her little PT Cruiser looks
destroyed.
Not destroyed, but like it's such an old car that like the dents are so much more noticeable. And so like after that storm, it's like it's completely freaked her out. And so I remember we were getting another storm. They're like predicting like more hail, and I was like, Mom, like, why don't you go do your like little knife trick? So like what she does is like you grab a knife and you like in Spanish is persinar, but it's like you make a cross and you like say a little like prayer or whatever, and then you go outside and you like stab it into the ground, and you're like with the knife, as you're making the cross, you're cutting the storm from your line of path. And every time she does that, and we don't get bad hail, we don't get any bad weather near us or anything.
Oh wow.
And yeah, it's like a rain dance.
Yeah, you should do a rain dance along with it and see if you can. Why?
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Well, research it.
Maybe. I'll see. But she's always like so embarrassed to like tell people that she does that.
Why?
I don't know. And I'm like, Mom, it's, if anything, it's like cool.
I think that's a cool story, because I think a lot of people, especially when it comes to manifestation or like believing in God, and I would say that I'm like more on, like, I believe in God and I go to church and I pray, but I also believe in like positive thinking and like wishing and saying things into your life and bringing
speaking
them
into existence.
Yeah, speaking them into existence is also very true. So when you have an experience like that and you can show people and tell people that, it just helps people believe that it's true.
Yeah.
When there's like you've gone through something and you believe it. Just like ghosts. Like there's a half, like 50-50 believe in ghosts and people that don't.
Yeah.
But the people that have seen a ghost and have witnessed a ghost and have experienced a ghost, they believe it.
I do.
They believe
I used to see
it.
dead people when I was little.
Yeah, I know. We've talked about it. So, but your experience, like if you and I both haven't ever had an experience, we're probably like, I don't know. I could see how it could not be true.
Yeah. Yeah, and so this is kind of funny because it leads into what our topic is today.
Hilarious.
But because I get teased a lot for watching like my little YouTube ghost hunter people.
Who teases you?
People at work.
Do I need to come beat them up?
No, because I always tell them, because I always scare them back.
Okay.
Because I'll be like, oh, you guys didn't see that guy down the hallway? And they'll be like, who? And I'll be like, oh, no, then never mind. And I'll just act nonchalant, and then they'll be scared.
You're so silly.
But almost all ghost hunters, like, or like people that go and what's it called, investigate, you know, the paranormal, don't believe in paranormal.
That's why they're investigating.
That's why they're investigating. And like 9 times out of 10, even when like something like truly jaw-dropping or fascinating happens to them, they still go through like all their like 10 steps of like trying to see like how to what's it called, debunk it. And they'll be like, no, it was like the wind, or it was like whatever, or like whatever. But it's like still so chilling when they do get evidence and they're like, I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah.
And they still don't believe it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, that does kind of lead into what we're talking about today. But what is the topic?
Respecting
others.
our others' differences.
Okay. Did you have anything else to lead on for that?
No, it's just, I mean, going off with like the ghosts thing, just because like I know, well, just like the ghost thing and like the manifestation thing. And it's like, I was actually just telling my therapist this a couple weeks ago, because my mom and I shared the same therapist, and I guess my mom had been telling her about how
Your mom also has the same therapist?
Yeah.
I feel like you and Fernanda and your mom may need to get, like, I feel like that's a conflict of interest. No?
No, because we don't really talk about each other. I mean, my mom and I will sometimes do like sessions together if like my mom needs like, oh, like she's like concerned for me, like she did that last year. She was
Y'all
like,
did therapy together?
we did a session together because she was concerned, because she's like, I wasn't going out, I was like going through like depression, and like I don't even think I was like hanging out with you or like anybody. It was just like going home, and she was like, I'm concerned.
Yeah, I was concerned too at that time.
So we had a session. So, I mean, and sometimes it has its, you know, its positives. And like sometimes my mom will bring up something to her and she'll give her permission to bring it up to me during our session. So sometimes I think it's nice because she's kind of like a middleman.
Do you think that she'll be like one day, and probably not actually after our Mother's Day episode, but she'll like tell Karishma, she'll be like, can you please tell Louisa to move out?
I think so. I think she'll get...
I think that your mom loves living with you.
She does love living with me, but she also... I think it's because I lived on my own. Does that make sense? Like, I have respect for shared spaces. And my brother has not moved out of the house. And so there's like things that I'm like, it's common sense.
It's common sense.
I'm like, oh my God, for example, we had Chinese last night. My mom left him like a disposable plate so she didn't have to put, you know, that's what you do when you have pizza or like Chinese. You use disposable plates. So you can just throw them away. You don't have dishes to do. So this morning when I got up, I saw that he had used a regular plate. And I'm like, she literally left it there on top of like the Chinese food containers.
And did he wash the plate?
No, he left it there. Or, let me tell you, like the trash, it was full. And I could tell he was the last one because he had smushed it down. Common sense would have been to just take it out and throw it away and put a new bag in. Yeah. But no.
If and I have roommates now too, and it's hard living on your own to going to living to roommates, especially when they're younger than you. I think that it's very much so just not having experience living with somebody, but also it's just very much so about respect. Like, it's not hard. We're all human beings. We all want people to respect our stuff. It's not hard. So I get it as well. Yeah. I think this is just a sign, once again, of the universe just
You and
trying. No, Fernanda can kick rocks. You're mine. Fernanda can kick rocks.
I literally told her, I was like, you, me, and Aaron should just like move it together.
Seriously. Let's go. I'll kick my roommates out right now. For real. That would actually be so fun.
And it would honestly, like, because Fernanda's so OCD, she can't live in
mess and havoc. Well, damn, she just signed a lease. Yeah. We can
figure it out.
Figure that out. Don't tempt me with a good time, Elisa, because I will make that shit happen. Me and Fernanda will bully you, and we will get you to...
Don't bully me.
Well, we just need to help you make a decision.
Yeah.
It's not bullying. Sorry, that was a bad word. We'll persuade you.
Yeah.
Positively. Because sometimes you just need a push.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, if you're just right there on the tip, we'll just...
Yeah.
Into the sea of...
Yeah.
Dandelions.
Dandelions are weeds, Aaron.
Okay, daisies.
Sure. That's better.
Soft daisies. Hopefully you're not, like, falling from a very far spot.
Yeah.
Just, like, into the ground.
Yeah, just softly.
Soft.
Like Horton Hears a Who.
Yes. That's what those flowers reminded me of the other day when we were shopping.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever got that out because we were so distracted.
No, you did. Okay. You said it.
Okay. I was like, that's what those remind me of. The little puffball flowers.
Yeah.
Like when he looks over and it like falls off the cliff and it's just that field of flowers.
Yes.
I have like the burps.
I do too.
It's the hi-yo.
It's a hi-yo. Oh my goodness.
Luisa and I were singing the Snow White.
Seven Dwarfs little mining song.
Hi-yo, hi-yo,
it's off to work we go. Hi-yo, 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 hi-yo.
Wow.
Nice.
Hi-yo should hire us.
Oh.
I need another sip.
Another sip. But I got distracted. I don't even know what it was.
So we were talking about you and Fernanda moving in with me.
Oh, no. I was talking about my therapist.
Oh.
And because we were talking about respecting our differences or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was telling her about how I used to see dead people. And I was like, I don't see them anymore. I was like, thankfully. I was like, but I am very sensitive to like people's energies and auras. And I was like, I told her, I was like, I don't say that a lot because people think I'm crazy. But I'm like, I can read.
Who's like one person in your life, you don't have to like say their name because I might know who they are, but if you want to, you can, just to be dramatic, that you've like met and you were just like instantly like, I don't like them. Or maybe not that you didn't like them, but something was off about them. And then, like, knowing them, you're like, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm trying to think. Because there's, like, a lot of people. Like, there's this, I'm not going to name this person because I never cared to learn his name. But he's...
You couldn't even name him if you wanted to.
Yeah, I couldn't even, nope, couldn't do it. But he's an acquaintance through one of my mom's friends. Mm-hmm. And from the very beginning, like, he's a dad, like, the way he just, like, I was telling Fernanda about this weekend. I was like, I don't know, maybe it's my daddy issues, but it's the way he interacts with his daughter that just, like, irks me. And he's too much of a, like, oh, hi, how are you? Like, anytime I have been around him. But it's, like, his energy, it's, like, slimy. Yeah. It's, like, he's too of a, like, showman. Yeah. And I'm like, and my mom's like, no, like, blah, 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 like, his wife. And I'm like, yes, his wife is nice. I don't care. But I was like, there's something in my gut that tells me, like, he's not somebody I would ever trust.
Yeah.
He's not somebody worth trusting or, like, being around.
See, having a friend like you is super important because I want to just see the good in everyone. and I'm sure you do too, but like I have to have somebody like do me wrong and do me dirty for me to be like, fuck you. And
Yeah.
honestly, even when you do me dirty, I'm still probably gonna like come back and be
Yeah.
like, stop
Here I am.
Stop being like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Let me fix you.
Yeah.
Like, let me help you, you know? And which is something I should probably work on, honestly. But yeah, having you be like,
Yeah. Like,
know?
I've done that to a couple of Fernanda's friends. I've said that.
that they're just like not good.
I'm just... Oh, okay. So I do have an instance. So I'm not... I can air out. I'll see. I'll just air it out. My cousin, who's in high school, her senior year, the way kids are nowadays with social media is wild.
Brutal.
So she was having this like little spat with like these 3 other girls.
I forget your cousin's younger.
Yeah, she's
Right.
She's barely gonna turn 18 in July.
Okay.
We're like 10 years apart.
Yeah.
So she's telling me, she's like voice memoing me like all this stuff, and she's also sending me receipts. And she like sent me a screenshot of like a picture of these 3 girls that she was telling me about. And one of those girls, I knew from the, like my cousin likes, she has me on her close friends on Instagram. So she'll post like cute little, like since it's been their senior year, she's been posting just like daily check-ins with all of her friends. And it's like, how many hours did you get? And they'll just be talking between them, you know, in high school shit.
Yeah.
And so from the
I don't
beginning
even know
of
what
the
any
year,
of that just mean, like what you just said. I don't know. What that means.
it was just like a little vlog she would do within her little friend group.
Okay.
And it'd be like them showing up. I mean, she also goes to like a really nice private school in Mexico. But it'd be like, oh, good morning, Erin. Like, how many hours of sleep did you get last night? Because it's her senior year. And it's a private school, so it's like, I don't know, like the education system there, but it looks like it's a lot more tougher. It's true, because it's also like with the
Probably
college.
my senior year, I probably went to school 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
Like,
Some of the stuff they're like, she's in exams for these last 2 weeks of her senior year. And I was like, I remember they let us just kind of do whatever we wanted in our senior, like our last month.
well, yeah, because they're like, I think you still have to take your exams, but it's like an hour
Well,
test.
if you have all A's, you can skip.
That's true. Some of them are like, fuck it.
Yeah. So anyways, you know, she was doing these little vlogs. And so there's like this one girl who I'd never seen in my cousin's like entire high school life. And I don't know, the girl was like, I don't know this girl. This girl, I'm only seeing her through social media. And I'm like, this girl gives me weird vibes.
Yeah.
And
she's
so,
like looking at you through the camera.
yeah. And so I come to find out like she's like been a bitch to my cousin and like all of this shit, and like they're like the mean girls of the school, like Regina and like all that stuff. And I told my cousin, I'm like, it's so funny that it's this one girl, because I immediately did not like her.
Yeah.
Like I knew something was off about her, and I didn't even have to meet her in person.
That's crazy.
And I was like, I didn't say anything to you because I was like, oh, well, you guys are friends. And then she just stopped showing up on your Instagram stories. I don't know what could have happened.
Well, and I think too, as a teenager, that stuff happens all the time.
Yeah.
And well, from like my sister's experience and stuff, I feel like I never really, and maybe I'm just glorifying my memories. Like I don't really remember having like that much drama in high school ever.
I never had any drama in high school.
Like actually, there's a couple girls that I'm like, stay away. Like don't ever talk to me again. There's one girl. I was like going through my rebellious years and decided to have sex for the first time. And this one girl, I thought we were friends, decided to just tell everybody about it. Like,
What the fuck?
yeah. So I'm like, cool, bitch, you're done. Don't, like, X'd off the list. If I ever see you, I'll throw up in my mouth a little bit.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Damn.
But then I got in trouble and I was like grounded for the rest of the summer, and so it kind of like blew over. And yeah, I never talked to her again.
You don't need her.
No, fuck her.
Yeah. So
It was not a good experience anyways, so it's like nothing to brag about.
Yeah.
But also not your business to brag about.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Real. Go have your own experience.
Yeah, stop living your life through mine. You jealous bitch.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. It was a wild time, honestly. But if you are curious how my mother felt during that time, go back and listen to our Mother's Day episode, because my mom has a few words to say on that time period in our life, because I was not who I am today. Let's just say it nicely.
Yeah. I was just like a nerd. A little goody two shoes that talked back, though. I had a mouth on me.
I love how your mom was like, like when you had an attitude, she was like, that's her problem, not mine. And like, it was you, not her. And so she was just like, whatever.
She really was like that.
Yeah.
She would like leave me alone. And so then it'd like make me like seek her out, like hello.
Don't you want to like
figure this out?
Yeah, don't you care about me?
Right.
You don't even care?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, my mom would cry, which would make me love
Sad.
it even more.
Oh, really?
Well, as a child or as like a teenager, I'm like, she's not my favorite person at that time.
Right.
Now, if she were to cry, I would cry with her.
Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable. It's
not like a trait that like stayed with me. It was just that during like those times.
Yeah. It made me uncomfortable.
It probably still makes you uncomfortable
probably,
when people cry.
Yeah, it does. It does. I'm like, why are you crying?
Can you please
Especially
stop?
if like I don't know you very well. Someone did that at work to me a couple months ago, and I was like, we're not friends.
Get away from me, please.
Please.
You're like, you're really too close to me just to be standing there, and you're also crying, and it's getting
I'm like
in my hair.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm the wrong person to come cry to.
You're so approachable.
I'm like, go cry to yourself in the mirror in the bathroom.
Tell yourself to suck it up. We're at work, bitch. Like,
I pretty much said that.
Go sit in your car, 15 minutes, put some cold air on your face, slap it, and then snap out of it.
Yeah.
You got it.
You got it.
I do that every now and then.
Yeah.
More often than I like to say.
I don't think I cry as much anymore. Well, no, just kidding. I was having like crying bouts a couple weeks ago. I don't know why. I was literally like crying. Like I was just overcome with emotion. I would just start like sobbing. And I was like telling my therapist, I was like, I don't know. I was like, I was so reading crazy? Like kind of like sad, like my little fan fictions. But I was like, I was rereading some of them. So I don't know. I was like so.
Like you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, so like the one I was reading about, it's like this mom, she's dying of cancer, and her husband, who was going to leave her, but decides to like not divorce her because of her diagnosis, is like trying to do everything so his kids don't lose their mom. And she knows that his really close friend, who's a woman, like is her only option to like raise her kids, because their families are very like old society. And then she's like, I need to leave someone. So it's called the request. And so like when they tell their kids like, yeah, mom's not gonna make it, they have like a little 6-year-old girl, and she's like, I don't want mom to die. And I'm like, it's fucking rough.
That's like how you perceive it in your head. That's how she says it.
Well, just like because I think of like, did you ever watch? No, it's like I'm reading it, but it's also like Claire's crying out. And so the way like you think of a child that's like processing these big emotions, it's like I hear them like crying out like no, you
Yeah.
know, if it was like an adult. Have you ever seen Stepmom
Mm-hmm.
with like Julia Roberts? It's like that's what I picture in my head.
Yeah.
Although, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'll blame it on Mercury.
Yeah, and your period.
It wasn't my period though.
But your hormones.
We'll blame it on the hormones.
Blame it on the hormones.
They need to make a song. You know, it's like blame it on the alcohol. Blame it on the hormones.
Blame it on the hormones. There we go. Number 1 hit coming up. I'm surprised that I remembered like the beat to blame it on
That's
the
a
alcohol.
really easy beat to remember.
I mean, I hadn't heard it in a long time.
I know, but it's in our blood.
It's in our blood. Alcohol. Yeah, so respecting each other's differences. I think that if you have an opinion about something, it's important, I think, to speak your opinion, and if you want to talk about it or say what you have to say.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like, there's a place and a time for things, doing things, saying things, interacting with things, whatever the case may be. And so knowing when and where to say things, like, you're not supposed to have opinions. Like, I think the world, people like getting mad about like one way or the highway or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, we're not saying you can't have an opinion, but like, just know when and where you can say stuff and like what's appropriate and what's not. Because if you do decide to say something at an inappropriate time or do something in an inappropriate place or whatever, there's consequences.
Yeah.
Like, there can be consequences.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly. I'm speaking very like broadly, but
I can give you an example.
okay, give me one.
I was actually just talking about this with my mom and my brother.
Okay.
And I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast. It's been maybe years, but I'll retell the story. I once got in a Facebook fight with one of my aunts. And like Aaron said, everyone's entitled to their opinion, whatever. Everyone posts insane stuff on Facebook to begin with, you know?
Right.
And so,
Especially if they're old.
yeah, she's got to be like,
I'm
oh, okay.
Don't mean
we're
old.
not aging
sorry.
her.
Yeah, just like older generation.
Yes. And so
I didn't mean to say it like that.
You know, there's always stuff, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, wherever, there's always fear-mongering. There's always like fear-mongering articles that are like half the time like not even true. Like they're one of those like,
What's fear-mongering mean?
fear-mongering is like oh, for example, like the end is near, apocalypse is coming, like that's fear-mongering.
Okay.
You know, that's how
Like
people
to put fear
stay in
into-
power.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, got it.
Yes. And so, exactly. That's like I told my mom, like, I follow specific meteorologists because they'll give detailed, like, things about the weather, and it's not fear-mongering how other people be like, oh, golf ball size hail, and then, like, you're in instant panic. So anyways, this aunt had posted this, like, thing on Facebook saying that, like, please share. Facebook is going to start monitoring prayer-led posts, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what? And so I had seen like two other of like her friends like post like, hey, like, where did you see this? Like, you know, I don't think your
Accurate.
facts are straight. Mm-hmm. And so I think I had been at brunch with Fernanda, or I don't know. I know I had a couple of drinks in me.
Oh, God.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to respond to this post because this aunt posts a lot of stuff and she contradicts herself a lot of the time. And I'm like, you make no sense. You're a person that should get their Facebook taken away because you're fear-mongering. You know, you're like, it's like that like supposed fact that says like, you have like 8 spiders that like crawl into your ear once a year. Mm-hmm. That's not true. That was literally something they tested out to see like how many people would. That's fear mongering.
Okay, so I have something after this that I want
to say. And
so,
this aunt posts this. So I still have the screenshots. I'm not going to like look through them now. But I'm just like, hey, hi, aunt. Here are the Facebook guidelines. Nowhere does it say that they're going to, control your freedom of speech, because that is like
against the law.
It's part of your Bill of Rights. And I had linked the community guidelines, and I said Facebook is too big to be monitoring, prayers, anyone's prayers, when it's just like people are on the daily, like, send prayers to my mom or whoever, like, and people will be like, oh my gosh, in the comments, like, they don't have time for that. Like, there are people bullying, stalkers. I
feel like I do that at least once a day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, they don't have time for that. And so I was telling my brother about it yesterday, because she responds to my comment and she's like,
was this recently?
No, this was you and I still live together.
Yeah, I was like, but this was back in the day. Yeah.
Yes. This was like maybe 21.
Okay.
And so she like says like this whole thing, like, oh, like, like, I don't know what the fuck she said, but she's like, say hi to your mom for me. And I was like, in my drunken state, I was like, white chicks, and like, you want to talk about my mama? And so then I said like this whole other spiel of like, like, not everything that you read online is true. Like, make sure you get your facts straight, because and I think I did mention fear mongering. And then she responded to that comment with, and I said, I was like, say hi to your husband for me, my uncle. I was like, since we talk about mamas. And so then she was like, facts are not true, and blah, 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 blah. And at this point, I'm like, I see why trolls get fucking like hyped up behind the keyboard, because I was like, what the fuck? So then I was like, because she's a teacher.
Oh god.
I was like, if facts are not true, then what are you teaching?
Yeah.
What are you doing in school?
Imaginary numbers.
Yeah. And so by this point, her and I had been going back and forth. And people are like liking my comments, and they're like posting, like, now I've got like people rallied behind me, like agreeing with me. So after I posted that thing of like, if facts are not true, then why are you teaching? Why are you in school?
Yeah.
Like, that's your, like one of your jobs in school, to like make sure your kids are getting the facts straight. She deleted all of my comments and she blocked me on Facebook. And we're still going strong. I have not been unblocked. But I took screenshots of every comment, because I was like, I need these receipts.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder how her students are doing.
Well, let me just tell you. Also, she is the head of the Spanish department, from last time I heard, of her school district. Her youngest son does not speak Spanish, and she's a Mexican woman. And then two, man, I'm just like airing her dirty laundry out there. When she first met her husband, I don't know if I've told this story. I've told you. I don't know if I told it on the podcast. When you go to a nice restaurant and they come out and cork a bottle of wine, they'll have you smell the cork.
Yeah.
And she was like very young and like didn't know, and so like they had her husband like sniff the cork, and they give it to her. She starts eating it. To this day, me and my older cousins still laugh about that.
Why would she eat it?
She didn't know. They didn't take her
husband
out.
Didn't eat it?
Well, they were dating at the time. I don't know. I don't know. I truly don't know what was going in her head. If you're watching, that's another thing. It's common sense. If you're watching, he sniffs it.
He didn't take a bite out of it and then give it to her.
No.
That's like a funny story about one of my exes. He had never had edamame before. And we've gone to sushi before many of times.
Yeah.
And we always get edamame as like an appetizer. It's just common sense to me how to eat it. Like it's just I mean,
they bring you an extra bowl too, so it's
like no one told me how to eat edamame. I just figured it out on my own. And this is why I just believe, like, you don't know something until you have been told or let you know it. Mm-hmm. Because he just took that edamame and just plopped it in his mouth, and he just ate it whole.
Oh my God.
And I'm like,
he swallowed it?
Yeah.
Oh
like,
my
chewed
God.
it up and ate it. And I'm like, what are you doing? That's not how you eat edamame. You eat the peas out of it, or the beans, or whatever they are.
Yeah, the beans.
And he's like, I had no idea. I was like, you have a lot to learn, sir.
That is funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I was like in shock. I couldn't even like tell him to stop eating it before he swallowed it.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's not very good. And I'm like, yeah, it's not very good. That's not how you're supposed to eat it. And yeah, so, but once he ate them correctly, he was
like, I like them.
I like these. So, you know, you just don't know something until.
See, that's the other thing.
Taught. But also, she just sounds like a not very smart person.
I mean,
you have to be, though, if you're a teacher. To a certain extent.
Like, to a certain extent, because I mean, I was around her, I don't know, she's like my dad's cousin. I don't know how the fuck it works. But I wouldn't say she's the brightest. No offense to her, but my thing is,
we can't all be the brightest.
No one's supposed to be the brightest. We're all supposed to have different opinions. It's the beauty of humanity. But my thing is, like what you were saying earlier, like there's a time and place to say stuff or whatever. It's like, don't speak on something
that you don't
know. Like go read, go Google it.
Yeah.
Get 3 different sources from 3 different, places.
Yeah.
And then make an informed opinion, and then
write a book report about it, source it.
Yes.
And how are we supposed to source it in school?
I don't even remember.
It's not
in English. HTML. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
but
I can't.
Yeah, that's. I mean, and if at the end, if you're still having the same opinion after reading everything, that's fine.
Well, it's one thing when you're like, I have an opinion about this, and that's just like what I believe. And you, like, compared to, this is what I think, and your facts are not correct. Mm-hmm. Like, you're over here saying that facts are not real things. Like, that's literally the definition of a fact.
I think I did read her the definition of a fact.
A fact is literally the truth of something.
Yeah, it's like the sky is blue. That is a fact.
Not always, though.
No, but like, it's like in the daytime, sky is blue because it reflects water. Scientifically is what they say.
Yeah, like gravity, fact.
Yes. You're blonde. Fact.
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of facts in the world, but
yeah,
like for her to be like, facts are not a real thing, like, now you sound dumb.
I actually found them.
Oh God. They're like in your storage, like where you can just
I just know what year it was.
Make yourself feel smart every once in a while.
Yeah, I'm just like this. Facebook just, this is what she posted. Facebook does funny and convenient things. Same as the fake news. Sad times we are leaving. Also, she doesn't know how to spell living, so she spelled that out leaving. Time is going to let us, oh my God, I'm such a bitch. Time is going to know the real true. But with hope and faith, all hope is possible. And that's where she brought up my mom. Say hi for your mom. And I was like, you want to talk about mamas? So.
Yeah, it sounds like you won that fight.
I did, and then other people were commenting, and I was like, thank you.
I'm the real winner.
I felt like Rocky Balboa. Yeah. He's like finishing up the steps.
They're like, encore.
Oh. But what was your story?
I don't know if I necessarily have like a legit story like that. I feel like that is a winner. But I don't know. I just feel like always, if you have something to say or have an opinion about something or think that you're right, especially like in the workplace, I feel for my job in particular, there's so many things that are forever changing, like just guidelines and programs and stuff like that. It's very difficult to always like keep up with.
Yeah.
So having a question about something or like being able to do something a certain way and like somebody's like, no, we can't do that.
Yeah.
I am always going to not believe them. Like,
Right.
I'm always going to be like, I think that there's a way.
Yeah.
And so, and I think that that's just a good way to do business, honestly. Like, if you are trying to get things done, like, do your research and things. But, like, sometimes we do one loan one way because of a certain thing, and the same issue could pop up on another one, and it's not an issue. It just depends. And so it's like you always have to just ask the question. Like, if you don't know, ask a question.
Yeah.
Like, I live my life by, like, if you don't know,
you don't know what you
don't
don't know is what one of my bosses said to us once.
I live my life by that. So it's like, ask a question. I'm not afraid to ask a question if it's going to get me next step further. And I think that being able to admit, or not even admit, but just humble yourself and being like, I don't know everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people, I would say men in general, but people in general, have that guard up of being like, well, I know a lot. Like, I know more than you. And as a female in this industry, in the mortgage industry, it's hard. You have to prove yourself, and you have to kind of know what you're talking about. Like, you have to know your shit. So, I don't know. I think humbling yourself to be like, I don't know that, but then taking that and learning it, and so when the problem pops up again, and someone doesn't know, you know.
Yeah.
And kind of keeping that in the back pocket, in your back pocket.
Yeah, that's a really good point you made.
Thank you.
Yeah, and also, I mean, going off of that, it's like sometimes on my part of the business, like, I think I'm like, oh, like maybe there's like a possibility for us to run this type of scenario. But I'm like, but I don't know. You know, so sometimes I'll ask and I'll be like, hey, you know, I saw that they have this on their whatever. Like, what do you think? And so it goes off like, always ask questions. I think it's funny when people tell me, like, don't be afraid to ask questions. And I'm like, oh, I'm not. You're going to want me to shut up.
Yeah, trust me. I will be, like, next to your desk if I need to be.
Yeah.
But also, I think that's how you build relationships with people, because we have a lot of, like, vendors and investors that we use, like, for non-QM loans and stuff. And we have reps and blah, 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 whatever. And I've gotten really close with some of them just because we'll sit and chit chat, and I'll ask questions and like make sure that we can get stuff done. And now if I need something done, if I call, they're not like, ugh, who's this girl or whatever.
Right.
It's like, oh, it's a pleasure speaking to you.
Yeah.
You know? Well, at least that's what I tell myself in my head that they say. But most of the time, that is how it is. Like, more of a work call. It's more of like catching up kind of call, but then also getting a question answered. But anyway, so I think that when it comes to just adulthood and being grown, knowing yourself and your values and what you believe in is something that I think takes a long time for people to kind of grow into and kind of figure out what they truly believe in. And like when you grow up, I think that's why it's so easy to be peer pressured and to get wrapped up into things that you might not really truly want to do or believe in or whatever. And so as you get older, it's kind of like a two-edged sword where you want your opinion to be like the right one. And I mean, not everyone's like this. I'm not speaking on behalf of everyone.
Yeah.
But when you're in a conversation, obviously you're speaking your opinion and your truth to let people know how you feel.
Yeah.
And if someone doesn't agree with you or believe what you believe, it can cause conflict or tension or whatever. So I think a lot of people might not speak on it in order to avoid conflict and tension. But knowing, and I was talking to my mom about this on vacation, like knowing what you believe in and what you stand for, but that there are other opinions out there, and to be open-minded about other people's opinions and like maybe learn something on why they think like they think.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about like political stuff, or I'm just speaking in general, like general topics.
Yeah.
But like I think it helps bring us together, or it can help us bring us together when we don't necessarily agree on everything.
Yeah.
We're able to like conversate about it and like, oh, why do you feel like that? Oh, let me tell you why
It's like, oh, I hate running. Oh, I actually love running because blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, let's go on a jog together maybe.
Yeah.
Meet in the middle.
Yeah.
You know? So I think as you get older, you do kind of learn the importance of that, or maybe you and I are just sophisticated for our age, because I think that our country and a lot of people in America could use this podcast and benefit from listening to it. But I just think that it makes your life easier when you're not trying to compete with everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. I always like to, because I'm very passionate about a lot of topics, but I always like to know what other people think. And I'm always like, oh, well, like, you know, why do you like that or whatever? Like, I mean, one of my more passionate ones is like, obviously, like, I'm pro-choice to, you know, you want to have a baby, you have a baby. If you don't want to have a baby, you don't have a baby. Right. But there have been a lot of people in my life, obviously, like my own mother too, who's been pro-life. And I'm like, pro-choice is pro-life. Yeah. And it's very, like you said, it's like, these people that I have conversations with have an open mind. And it's like, I'm not shutting you down. I think that's the issue. People are so quick to like, no. Yeah. You're not. It's like, no, like a debate is you let them speak, you hear what they have to say, and then
I don't even think it's a debate, because a debate you have a winner. And I think that
I don't see it as winning. I'm just like, you're just conversating, I guess.
But like, if you were to go to debate class, you're going to a debate to win.
I guess, true.
Like, candidates debate each other to win.
I guess, true. But in my head, I'm like,
I've been debating my entire life, and I've won every single time.
I've won every single time.
No, I think
I guess it's just like conversating.
Maybe that's why it comes across as a debate, because you're like, I have the floor.
Yes.
It is not.
I am speaking now.
It is not your turn to talk. The mediator will let you know when it's your turn.
They're like, time. Actually, I still have the rest of the hour.
Yeah. I booked this room for 30 more minutes. Right. But yeah, I think that exactly what you're saying is conversating about your views, not necessarily like having
don't push your views onto people,
right?
Because I think that's sometimes like what it comes across from either spectrum. It's like, oh my gosh, they're like shoving it in my face, and it's like, I think some people's delivery could be better, for sure. And I do think that's like the beauty of TikTok. It's like opened people's minds to just because like we're seeing videos from literally all over the world, and we're ending up in like tea and drama and just like different stuff that we're like, learning, whether it's from like someone that's like, this is what my medical bill was after giving birth, or to this is why me and my husband broke up because I've caught him cheating with the neighbor or something. Like, it's like opened so many people's eyes, and like it opens up the comment section for people to like have Vanderpump Rules. Like, people are in there that probably would never speak to one another.
I think too that social media, just like you said with your cousin, it can be very brutal, but I think when it's used for good, it can be very eye-opening. Like TikTok, like social media. It
depends on your algorithm, I guess.
Well, that's true. Depending on what day it is. But you can learn a lot from people, and seeing like how people respond, and also knowing like, oh shit, like I'm not alone. This girl has been going through this and like had a shitty relationship.
It's like we all have the same shared experience. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I always thought I did that.
Yeah, why do I even have depression? If everyone's going through this, why do I feel like I'm alone, So I think it can really be good and it can be bad at the same time, but knowing how you should respond as a person, and I think at the end of the day you just have to be kind to people and do the right thing, as my dad would say.
Yeah, do the right thing. Like my to end up on a funny topic, my For You page, for some reason I'll end up on like Maury TikTok. Remember the show Maury? You're like, you are not the father.
Oh,
those crack me up.
Really?
Yes. I'm like, how did I end up here? I'll end up on Maury TikTok. I'll end up like on prison TikTok, which like, I don't snitch, but like I'll come across y'all's videos within your cells doing your little dances, and I'm like, you go. But how did my algorithm get here? I think it's because I doom scroll so much that like
you're like, we're running out
my
of
TikTok's like, all right,
we're running out of content. We need to give her some more. She's about to get off. Hurry, give her some prison TikToks. Give her some.
Yeah, and I'm like, how am I here?
And that's when you know it's time to go to bed, Louisa.
Yeah, you know what I've been really loving to go to sleep to?
What?
Watching people make slime. Now I want to make slime.
Okay, we can make slime.
Like, honestly, it's like Elmer's glue. You can use shaving cream, and then that micellar water is an activator.
Okay.
Which everybody in the comments section is like, what's in that skincare product that activates to make slime?
I don't know.
I know. It's like, now we want to know.
Well, maybe on our sleepover, when we just like make a pallet on the floor,
we can make slime. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Do you remember Flarp?
Yes. The little like, yes. Yes, I remember that.
One time, my dad and my sister were driving up to Lubbock to see me, and there was a Flarp thing in the car. I wasn't there, but they have like videos of them just going like, oh, I really have to go to the bathroom, like, and just laughing their asses off. Like, they probably did that for the entire 5-hour drive.
Oh my gosh.
And like, when I was in college, my sister was probably like between 12 and 14. So like prime, no, like 10
She's
14.
Like preteen.
Yeah. Like prime farts are hilarious.
Yeah.
And I mean, farts are funny.
Yeah, they are.
But it's like, to a certain extent, I feel like that would get old.
I know, but like, like when you're on a road trip and like you're just Delulu, like anything is funny.
You're right. And if you're with the right people, it's not. It's fun. It's all fun.
Yeah.
You are very delusional on road trips.
Yeah, like you're just like talking
you're
about
in La La Land.
Yeah, like you're just, sky's the limit.
Yeah, conversation is off the charts.
Yeah.
There's no limit on there.
No. Like you can talk about
ceiling.
anything. Yeah.
Stays in the car.
Yeah.
It's a confidential hub.
Yeah.
If you tell a secret outside of the car, you
Yeah,
have
what
to walk
happens in the
home.
car stays in the car.
You have to walk home. You're
Oh,
hitchhiking.
Lord.
Yeah, if you tell a secret of what happens in the car
Well,
on a
I'd
road
never
trip,
do that.
I'm not saying you would.
I know,
because you
but
know
that's...
the rule.
I know. Hitchhiking is scary. Did I ever tell you the one time when we were driving to Wisconsin? It wasn't too late at night, but my mom can't drive at night, like during the sunset, because she just can't see very well.
Mm-hmm.
And so it had kind of like gotten dark, and I've never told anybody this. I'm not even sure it was a hitchhiker, but it was just like a stranded, I don't know if it was stranded. I don't even know if she was a real person, to be honest with you, but she was like barefoot. She kind of looked like one of those Appalachian mountain people. And obviously I didn't pull over because you don't know what hitchhikers...
Are you saying that she was the abominable snowman?
No, I have her like engraved. I think it was a woman. I have it engraved in my head. And I remember just like getting goosebumps and just like I kept driving. And I don't think I saw her in my rearview mirror, but I was like really spooked. Because like it's fast. That's why I said I have never said anything to anybody, because I'm like, it kind of spooked me. Anyways, sorry about that. Sorry.
It's like, that's something you should have kept to yourself.
Well, we were talking about hitchhikers.
No,
I don't know if she was, but she was just like looking down. It was really...
Maybe she was. She forgot to put her thumb out.
I don't know.
Maybe she was a new hitchhiker.
I'm like not even near the Appalachian Mountains for that to begin with, but
Maybe she's a new hitchhiker and she doesn't know.
She looked
seasoned.
Yeah.
Maybe she was her arm was just resting.
Oh, I got chills.
Okay, I know that we're about to get off of here because it's getting late, but you said that you had a story to tell about Martha Stewart.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so apparently I come across that Martha's been checked in to a Scientology hospital because she's not well in the head. And I'm like, first of all, my girl Martha is way well in her head. And she apparently posted a video of herself, and it doesn't even look like her. It doesn't even look like... I came up because they're like, oh, Martha apparently was checked in, but she's posting a video of herself dancing. And I came across the video, and I need everybody to go, please look at this video. Mm-hmm. It does not look like her. Now I'm like, you know how all those conspiracy theories about Kanye, and he was like, if I start wearing Balenciaga, it ain't me. Now I'm like, you know what? I believe it. They are trading in people, because that is not Martha Stewart. Yeah. My girl Martha does not look like that. And yes, I would know. It's honestly kind of spooky.
I think Britney Spears too.
Oh, 100%.
And that TikTok that I sent you about the missing guy in France.
Yes.
Who
that was
ended
scary.
up as a mannequin.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, I'm like, what is going... And she's like in the middle of a golf course, and she's just dancing, and I'm like, that is not Martha. I know, because she raised me. I know. I'm like, how do I get a hold of Snoop Dogg?
Oh
he needs to save his friend.
I know, because she raised me.
I used to like grow up like watching her on like PBS. She'd be on Saturdays, and she'd be teaching like old school, like, today we're gonna make, duck confit or something. Like, probably not that, but just like different stuff.
What is what you just said?
Duck confit. It's like grilled.
You said that like I should know what that means.
Have you ever had duck? It's really good.
I've had duck. But
we need to go somewhere.
You had a word after duck.
It's French. It's like a French dish. Not ditch. Dish.
But it's just duck.
It's just like, duck cooked a certain way.
Okay.
But no, it would be like, today we're making angel food cake, or like, something
for children.
Very like No, it was on PBS. I don't know.
All right. Anyways,
we're past that.
hashtag save Martha.
Hashtag save Martha. I'm gonna get a hold of Snoop Dogg. I'm gonna be like, please. I'm gonna slide into his DMs and be like, please go check on your girl.
Can you please?
I'm concerned.
Do that. Do it and take a screenshot and see if you
I will.
Can you please?
I will. I'll do it after we sign off.
Okay. Cheers.
Bye, guys.
Fellow mates. We love you so much. If you don't follow us on Instagram and TikTok or YouTube, do that now. Our Instagram is at basically adulting_podcast. And then our TikTok is
BA_podcast.
Yes. And then our YouTube is, I think, just basically
adulting podcast.
So if you want to watch any of our videos, we're going to be starting to post those. Not every single one is going to be recorded because we like to keep you guys guessing.
Keep you on your toes.
And so if you like them, go interact with them and share them. Send it to your friends and family because we think we're pretty funny. And the first one that we actually have on YouTube is our Mother's Day episode. Mm-hmm. So if you ever were wondering where we got our
fabulous looks from and our humor from.
I was going to say our humor, but yeah, and our looks. We got it from our mamas and they're on the podcast.
Yeah.
So go check that out. It's a hilarious episode. My mom was watching it the other day, like last night, and was cracking up, but she also thinks she's hilarious. So yeah, so go like it and follow us and share because we love you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Peace.
Toodles.
Nice.